Hello, I got perhaps the king of beer battles. Sip of Sunshine versus Double Sunshine. So this one is the very famous double IPA that has always been brewed at Two Roads Brewing in Stratford, Connecticut. But Lawson's, it was their first contract brewed beer I think that they did outside of Vermont in their own breweries. And I think they worked hard on making the recipe, and at first this was only sold in Vermont, even though it wasn't made in Vermont, and it got hyped up, and it's one of the best-selling craft beers in all of New England, I assume. It's 8%, and it was inspired by the double IPA that Lawson's has only ever made in Vermont, and they used to make this a long time ago in Bombers. I think it was, one of those whale beers a long time ago. And now they do cans and occasionally ship it from Vermont outside to other states in New England. And I think I prefer this one, but I've never had them side by side. Sip of Sunshine, I kind of got bored of for many years. Got more into the super hazy stuff. But then I returned to this and I was like, it's pretty damn good. So these are very close they're both 8%. They're both Citra-focused double IPAs. But I'm pretty sure they are a little different, and they're both very fresh. They're canned 4 days apart. This one is January 9th. This one is January 5th. So extremely fresh right now. And I think I'll start with the Sip of Sunshine. I already had a couple cans of this batch of Double Sunshine, and it's very good. I think it's probably maybe a little more malty and a little more floral or spicy, maybe. But we'll see. I guess that's got a pretty good color to it. Actually, that might be a little darker than Double Sunshine. Has a very nice head. It looks, on camera, it looks a little bit darker than... I don't know, I guess it kind of catches the light and shows you the real color. It's not that red. And then Double Sunshine. Both of these were kept cold their entire lives. Yeah, that looks like it's a little bit paler. Yep, it definitely is a little bit paler. So there you go. I guess I'll keep it like that. Just a hair, right? They're pretty close. And maybe I poured the Double Sunshine a lot harder. But maybe it has a slightly better head. Yeah, the bubbles are a little bit tighter. The head might last a little bit longer. But yeah, there's definitely more red in the Sip of Sunshine. Maybe a little bit more crystal malt. The Sip of Sunshine smells... Yeah, it's got a lot of... It's very fruity, but it's like a slightly cooked fruit sort of thing. Canned fruit that, usually when you can something, you have to boil it or heat it up. So like when you get canned fruit, it's not going to have quite the freshness to it. And some like red berries. Fruit soup. Smells good, just a hint of resinous in there. Yeah, this head is definitely way better. That's going to stick around a long time. And very similar. It has a little bit of that cooked thing, but I feel like this is more tropical. More of a bright tropical note. Where this is like cooked pineapple. Canned pineapple, this is a little more fresh pineapple, but not as tropical as some beers I've had. There's a little bit more of a floral note, more of a citrusy note to this one. Sweet orange soda, mandarin orange candy. So that's your Double Sunshine. And Sip of Sunshine, the head has died down quite a bit. Yeah, and it's got a little bit more of a, I don't know, slightly unhappy yeast sort of smell. Like it's more of a mass-produced thing. A little bit more of a dankness, maybe. Yeah, this They're both quite aromatic. This one's maybe a little bit more aromatic. Maybe it's like the double sunshine more. But this gets, yeah, it's more malt. I'm just smelling more toasty caramel malt, I guess, and less pure hops. Tastes good. Sweet, but then there's a little bit of a resinous, kind of almost piney bite that fades away pretty quickly, and then it's like very toasty. Honey Nut Cheerios. Hint of caramel toasty malt. And there's some bitterness there in the finish. And look at the head on this. It's sticking around. It's in really nice lacing. This is just a masterful beer. Yeah, more bright grapefruit. Yeah, not as malty. Might just be that the hops are just like so dominant. And it is also a little bit paler, so there's probably a little less crystal malt in here. Um, and maybe more of a firm bitterness. It's kind of hard. You have this one and then another one. The bitterness builds up. I would say that the Double Sunshine has a little bit more floral. It has a little bit more everything almost, except for the caramel maltiness. It's more citrusy, more bright citrus. I wouldn't say either of them are that tropical, but that's just what people like to say. I guess they don't say. They say juicy, lush fruit character, dank herbal aromas. What is Sip of Sunshine? Yeah, Sip of Sunshine says juicy tropical fruit. I don't know about that. This just says juicy, lush fruit character. Dank herbal aromas. I mean, maybe this one's a little bit more herbal and less piney. Darn near silky feel. Very happy yeast. No kind of off flavors. No medicinal. No booziness. And it lingers with like a spicy kind of juicy grapefruit. But it's not that bitter. It's not pithy. Yeah, Double Sunshine obviously wins. Sip of Sunshine is very good though. The feel on this is a slightly more bubbly. It's not bubbly, super bubbly and coarse or anything. It's not as dense of a feel either. Like it could be because of the carb and the bubbles, but it just doesn't have as full of a body. It's not as silky. And like after a while, the flavor's just like, I got it. And I just kind of taste bit of a generic craft beer double IPA aftertaste. Whereas the Double Sunshine, yeah, it's continuing with with these dank herbal aromas that are interesting. Yeah, actually like sort of a slight cannabis sort of thing, where a very very fruity, citrusy forward cannabis aroma. And a damn near silky mouthfeel. And it comes across not as like less sweet actually. Maybe it's because of the more crystal malt in this one. I'd be interested in what the original gravity of these is. Original and finishing gravity. That's just the density of the sugars is the original gravity. Or like what the calorie count is per serving. But I think a lot of people prefer the Sip of Sunshine because it is a little bit sweeter. People love sweet. Mm-hmm. Really good, but this takes the cake. And they aren't exactly the same. I guess they're going for something very similar, but this is probably just the way you could do it on a more mass-produced scale. Even though the Lawson's brewery is pretty big in Vermont. But they probably were like, we can't use as many hops, but we need to pack in the fruity hop character, so add a little bit more of a sweet tasting malt. And that's kind of how they crafted this. But they're both real good, and I don't know if I should do a cuvee. A blend. Because I feel like that would just muddle it, and it wouldn't really do much. It wouldn't really improve it much. Maybe. I guess let's just do it. I guess I'll do just a little bit in there. Mix it up. Yeah, that caramel malt thing kind of almost it almost tastes oxidized or old from this. Like it's just kind of a little bit distracting from the hoppy character. But there's a little bit of this in it. But yeah, definitely I'd go for Double Sunshine. But most people would probably like the blend the most. A lot of people would prefer this. I'm not sure what the ratings are on Untappd, but this one a lot of people don't know this exists because you have to really go to Vermont to get it. But that's it. Double Sunshine is 4.75 for me. Double Sunshine, close to 4.5. Maybe, I guess this is super fresh, and I don't know. Excuse me. I guess I'm seeing the mass-produced qualities in it, but it's still pretty done or well done. So like 4.3, I guess. Bye.